Hey guys, what is up? And welcome to a new video. I'm going to be comparing the differences between the press releases for Kim Lip's single album. So you guys can probably tell right off the bat without me telling you guys which is which that there are subtle differences in the covers already. So the one on the left here is the initial one, the very first press release done through CJ E&M, and then the one here on the right is the more recent one, which is more available now, which is distributed from Danal or Danal, not sure how to pronounce it. But yeah, I decided to do this. I've been reading a lot of comments saying that the newer ones are a lot worse in quality, and I can definitely agree, or at least stand by that. Not too fond of it. So we'll go ahead and get into it, let you guys decide if it's worth getting, or for those of you that are more interested in the initial one, if it's worth to spend the extra money for it. It is more expensive, obviously, but let's go ahead. So from the covers alone, you can tell that the one on the right is the colors, for whatever reason, are more duller or darker. I'm not sure why they went with that. Could be an issue with printing, or maybe it's just something that they're doing on purpose to differentiate themselves, but just a little bit weird. Going into the text up here, we can see that the font that they used for number 8 on the original is different to the number 8 that they're doing now. I'm not sure why they did that. After going through the photo book, this was like the only instance I saw where the fonts didn't match up. Even for the title tracks, you can see that it's overall the same font. The newer one does seem a little bit maybe bolder at times. I don't think this is an instance of it though, but at some points it does seem bolder than the original. The font also for Luna's name, I달의소녀, it's lighter for here, but the one thing I will give them credit for that I do like for the newer ones, the member's name and the group's name is actually embossed. I think you guys can maybe tell a little bit there. So that pretty much just means like it's a bit more raised. So if you run your finger through it, you can feel it, which is pretty cool. Whereas for the original, while you could run your finger and you could kind of feel it, it's more of like a printed thing. Maybe you can feel it a bit, but it's definitely not as noticeable as the newer one. So that was kind of cool. Also, the color, again, going back to the differences with that. The newer one, you can kind of tell. I don't know how well it'll show on camera, but the color does seem to me a bit more scarletish or orangish even at times. Definitely not as red as it should be, which is a little bit off. So definitely throws it off, considering that there's an orange color for a different member. Definitely you want to have them be the colors that they should be. And then I'm not sure if this is due to like the embossing feature that they added, but you can almost see sort of like a drop shadow. It's very light. It shows, I think, a bit more here by where the eye curves down, and even like the little dash that she has on top of her eye. It's a little bit weird again. I'm not sure how I feel about it, if it's cool or not, but just another detail. Whereas the original ones, you know, it's just clean cut there. So just another difference. Again, an easy giveaway is going to be on the spine, where you can see the difference in distributors, CJ and Danal, and then the difference in code here. I'm not sure what it is, but even like the font here, I don't know if it's something that they're doing, but it's like crooked. whereas this one's like nice and straight. And then we get, again, difference in color there. Looking on towards the back, the logo is a bit more darker on the original, and then you can tell the differences in distributors again. So the changing Comca stickers, that's, you know, it is what it is. I personally prefer the older one. And then you get the whole distribution and copyright, all of that good stuff, and English, and then you also get text in Korean. And then on the newer one, you only get the 2 sentences in, or the 2 lines in English. The dates are different, obviously, 2017 and then 2020 down there. So I think that's about it for the back. Going through the photo books, I did notice several changes with the pictures, whether it be different positioning on it. I don't know if they resized some of the photos or if they're just a bit more tilted towards one side. This wasn't the instance for all of them, but it does show for a couple, and one of them is actually here on the cover. So looking at the bottom of her shirt, you can see that the newer one has more of a gap between the bottom graphic of her shirt to the bottom of the album cover, whereas the original, it's a lot shorter of a gap. You can also see like a birthmark or mole that she has on her left arm, whereas on the original, it's not even there. It's cut off completely. So that's definitely kind of interesting. And we'll go ahead and get into this. So I was actually gonna do like a live sort of side-by-side comparison, but I think that would have taken me way too long. And then like the first thing I see is they still managed to mess up the inside picture. So the one on the left is what you should get when you get the B version, or the version B of her album, not the version A. So nice to see that they're consistent with being inconsistent. And then, as I was saying, the font, they do change back to like the original one with the number 8. So it's a little weird why they just decided to throw in a completely different font up there. Everything else is pretty much the same. The title track is good. And then we're gonna check out the disc itself. Again, the dead giveaways are the distributors, the codes on the right side, and then just the whole text that you get on the outside curve of the CD. It's a lot longer. It's pretty much almost just what you get here on the back. So it's longer on the original, and then it's a bit more shorter on the newer one. So there's just another difference there. And then getting into the, one of the pictures at least is gonna be towards the back. There we go. So I'm gonna keep that page open, and then as I attempt to skim through with one hand, we'll pull out the other page. So here we go. Okay, I think this should be fine. You guys should be able to see from up there. So whatever, I don't know if this is like a box or just whatever prop was on set. On the newer one, you can see there's only like 3 hearts or 3 little symbols there. Whereas on the original, you can see clearly there's a 4th and even sort of like the bottom of a 5th one kind of there. Even the symbol up thing up here, you can see 2, and then part of a 3rd one, where on the newer ones, you can only see 2. So it's just sort of little things like that. And then I'm not sure how well it shows through camera again, but the colors are different in terms of like being duller or darker on the newer one. So it's just more differences like that. I can't remember. I know there's at least one other picture. I think it was this one where it just looks much more darker than it should be. I think it's this one. So especially considering the dress, like she has a bright, sparkly dress on, so it should be as it is. I think you can see that the colors are a bit more vibrant on the original as opposed to the left one where it's a bit more dark and duller. You can make out that there is an L-O-V-E, or on the newer one it's a little bit harder to tell that there's an L there. I think the picture right next to it is also a good indicator of that. So it's just minor details like that where I don't think it's too big of a deal, and definitely not noticeable unless you're looking specifically to point out different things. But I know it can either make or break the deal for some people. They did manage to do the back right. I know a lot of the Kim Lip albums, they had Vivi's credits or her thanks to and all of that, but everything is good for these. I know these are the lyrics, but everything else is good on the back. So just one more thing is going to be comparing the photo cards. So obviously on the newer ones, they don't do the attendance cards anymore, and they don't do the holographic stickers on the back. So not sure if you guys can tell which is which, but there is, well, we'll show the back first. So this is the original and the newer one. So for whatever reason, not sure if it might just be mine that has like this defect, but it has this sort of light green, almost yellowish tint filter that they added to it, which looks pretty bad, I think. I think you can definitely tell from the hair where you can see sort of like a greenish, different tone to it, whereas on the original, you can tell that it's blonde. So it's just really weird. I kind of feel like she's gonna Hulk out or something, which is pretty weird. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the differences I was able to tell. Oh, just one last thing on the cover again itself. The material that they use for the bottom portion of it, where the member is, this one is a lot more glossier and a lot more reflective, where on the original, it's a bit more smoother and really only just like reflects the light back. So that's definitely something different, a lot more noticeable. I'm not too fond of the feel for this one. It feels a bit more cheaper, but I'll let you guys decide. Definitely curious to see if it's a make or break deal for you guys. I know everyone wasn't able to get the initial releases when they first came out, whether financial issues or just weren't into the music back then. But yeah, is it worth for you guys to pay the extra for the original one, given based on the differences you guys seen, or you guys don't care? Because after all, it is just for the music. It's just an album. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.